Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Somebody else might still join us, but that's okay. The whole idea is I'm just trying to record some content so that we have some good training content for people.
Okay.
I'm just going to jump in. I've got a presentation to share. Actually, I need to get it to where I can see it. There we go. It's always when you have to do something important that your computer decides that it doesn't want to work right.
Of
Like
course.
today, my computer's been really slow. I'm like, oh, this is not a good day for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just want to make sure somebody's messaging me. All right, great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mute you, but if you have any questions, go ahead and use the chat feature, which is, you know how to get to the chat?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute you and speaker view. Okay, great. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. I want to welcome you to our How to Grow Your House Cleaning Business webinar. This is our day 2, and today we're going to be talking about how to attract the right clients. We're going to be talking about a lot of different topics, but if you haven't watched the first in this series, I'm going to cover a few things. I'm going to review a few things that I talked about last time, and then jump right into lots of ideas around how to attract the right clients for your house cleaning business. All right, so I have a presentation to share, so I'm going to do that. Whoops. Are you seeing my presentation? All right, good, great. All right, so today we're talking about specifically how to grow your house cleaning business. Now, I know many people in the cleaning business do lots of other types of cleaning, but today we're going to be really focused on residential clients. And the reason that we wanted to put together this workshop for everyone watching is that, I have been through some really rough times in the cleaning business. And it wasn't until I started investing in learning more about the cleaning industry that my business really started to take off. So when I started out, I was cleaning in the field. My business had the wrong structure. I had the wrong people working on my team, and I just had a lot of chaos. And so, when I got started, the other thing that was a problem for me was I was doing all of the things. I didn't have any help, and I really didn't figure out how to manage my business for quite a while in the beginning. And it was just burning me out, and my business was stuck. I could only grow to a certain level because my business depended solely on me to get everything done. And I'm sure many of you who start out cleaning in the field know what that feels like when your business starts to grow. And the other thing is I didn't have a plan. So I didn't have a plan for how to grow my business, how to build a team, how to attract clients. And all of that showed up because I wasn't able to progress. And I learned very quickly that I needed help. So my goal for you in this 4-part webinar is to help you grow. I want to give you some direction and strategies. So if you didn't watch the first webinar, if you registered, you should have gotten a link with the replay of the first webinar, and I had some handouts. So there's a link for those as well. And go back and watch that because I did talk about how to help you get started. I want to help you attract the right clients. Not every client is the right client for a business. So how do we know who that is, and how do we attract those people to our business? How do we figure out who they are, and then how do we create a brand that's irresistible to those people? And then how to build a great team. You can only get so big in your cleaning business with what you can do with your 2 hands. And if you don't build a team, you won't be able to grow. So we're going to be talking about that next week, on Wednesday. So 2 days from now, on our next webinar, we're going to be talking about how to build a great team. And then finally, we're going to end next Monday with understanding technology. I'm going to share with you some of the technology that I use in my business. You don't need all the technology in the beginning, but it's kind of good to know about it and what's available out there, because as you grow, technology helps you scale even faster. And it takes everything that's stuck up here in your brain, and it gives you a place to put that. So you're not always responsible for all the information in your business. I know that can be very exhausting. I am a certified cleaning business fundamentals coach, and Cleaning Business Fundamentals is a mentorship program that I've been a part of for 6 years. And it has helped me grow my business from, I was at about 100 clients when I started out. And today my business has over 400 clients, and we're doing about 1.5 million annually in sales. Now, I'll tell you, I never would have been able to grow my business this way if I wasn't investing in learning all the time. I love to learn, but often we don't know where to look to get the right information. And Cleaning Business Fundamentals has compiled all of the most successful strategies for the residential cleaning industry into one place. And it's the largest, most successful growing organization in the residential cleaning industry. And if you want to keep growing as an entrepreneur, I suggest that you find someone you can have as an accountability partner or a mentor or a coach, because you really, if you want to keep growing, you really have to keep learning. I love this quote, and I like to just always be thinking bigger. And I love this because this quote says, "The mind, once stretched by a new idea, never returns to its original dimensions." And I really love that because as business owners, every lesson that we learn builds on top of the next, and we keep getting stronger and more and have more success abilities as we learn. So I want to encourage you, don't just learn today and with this video, but seek out more information, because the more you learn, the more you will grow. Now, I have some great news, and this is one of the reasons why there are so many people in the residential cleaning industry right now, because our industry is growing by leaps and bounds. It's the fastest growing segment of the home services industry. We're one of the newest segments that have really started to grow, and house cleaning is just becoming a lot more commonplace. It's becoming less of a luxury service and more of an expected service. So this is great news for those of us in the cleaning industry. Our industry has grown every year since 2011. Very few industries can say that. Even during this recession or slower economic, I can't talk tonight, slower economic phase, we're still going to see growth in the cleaning industry. And our cleaning industry will be growing to over $40 billion. And I want everyone listening to this webinar to have a part of that 40 billion. And the great news is, in the very near future, over 80% of households will use some form of cleaning service. It might just be temporary, a one-time cleaning, but so many people will be using residential cleaning. And this is great news for us, because when people expect to have a cleaner, there's more business for all of us. And I believe that there is plenty of business for all of us to have really great, successful cleaning businesses. Just a little bit about me. My reason for becoming a cleaning business owner was I wanted to have more time to spend with my family. Unfortunately, when I very first started, and I'm sure many of you have experienced this, when you first start out, you actually don't have more free time. It becomes kind of overwhelming. And that's what my business did before I started Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Prior to this, my husband and I were in the restaurant industry for over 25 years, and we've opened over 30 restaurant locations together. So I've had a lot of business experience, but I did not know how to run a cleaning business until I started investing in my education. I love my team, and in 2021, together, we brought our business over the $1 million annual revenue mark. That was really exciting for us. when you see me there in that green jacket, I received a green jacket award at CBF Live, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about that later. And my team and I celebrated together. And I became a CBF coach in 2020, and I coach people all over the US and Canada and internationally. There are several of us who do that. And I love helping business owners. So that's why I'm here with you tonight, because I love to help people grow their businesses. It's just something that's really exciting to me. So welcome, Heather. I'm glad you're here with us. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We've already started, so I'm just going to keep going. Go ahead and take notes. I'm going to put you on mute, and then I'll open it up for questions. You can use the chat feature. I'm going to leave the chat open so I see any questions that pop up while I'm presenting. All right, here we go. So today is part 2 of a 4-part webinar series. And part 2, we're going to be talking about how to attract the right clients for your residential cleaning business. And we're going to cover 4 different topics under attracting the right clients. We're going to talk about branding. And I think, you know, I found out once I started really working on my brand that branding wasn't what I thought it was. So I'm going to share that with you today. And then second, we're going to figure out who is the ideal client for your business. This is so important to know, and it completely changes how you do your work and how you attract clients. We're going to talk a little bit about pricing. Pricing could be a webinar all in of itself. Actually, if you're part of the Your House Cleaning Business Group, I did an entire I think I've done 2 or 3 talks on pricing. So you can search my name in that group and you can find some of the talks, the videos that I've made in the group all about pricing. But I am going to talk a little bit about pricing today because that's an important part of the equation. And then finally, I'm going to end with talking about marketing, which I love marketing. It's so fun. And it really makes a difference how you market to bring in the right people. So we'll jump into branding. This is a big part of attraction. If you think about branding, imagine that branding is a giant magnet. And magnets do one of 2 things. They attract, right? They attract metal usually, but they also can repel things that have a polar opposite charge, right? If you've ever tried to pick up something with a magnet and it moved away from the magnet was repelling that. So your brand is like a magnet in your business. It will either attract people to you or it will repel them. And of course, we want to attract as many people as we possibly can who are great for our business. One thing that branding is not your logo. Actually, branding is not a color. Branding isn't words. It's so much more than that. Branding is how you make people feel, how when they interact with your business, it's the feeling that they get. So I want to challenge you to think about that when you look at your business. What kind of feeling do you want people to have? I've seen all kinds of cleaning businesses. Some of them are, very serious. Some of them are kind of fun and silly. My brand is very kind of whimsical and fun. But, we have certain goals of what we want our clients to feel when they interact with us. So it's so much more than what they see with their eyes. It's what they learn about us through our website, what they feel when they experience our services, all of that. So when you're working on your brand, and if you are thinking of making changes to your brand, that's great. Your brand is a living, breathing thing. It can change at any time. I've rebranded my business once so far, and we're actually getting ready to do a brand refresh. We're not going to change the brand a whole lot, but we're going to update some things about our brand. And it's okay to change your brand. As your business grows, you change and grow, and your brand can change and grow with you. But when you're doing it, it's all about the feeling that people have when they interact with your business. Yes, color plays into that. any images that you use in photography, that plays into it. The words that you say plays into it, but it all works together to create that emotional bond that people have with your business. So branding is so much more than your colors or your uniforms or your website. It's all those things working together to generate a feeling. One of the things that helps you determine the feeling that your brand will give are your values and culture in your business. Now, a lot of us have never thought about our values. You have them. The good news is they're already there. You have values, but you probably haven't defined them, or you might not have defined them yet. And I've done workshops on this as well, helping people to discover their core values in their business and then define them so that you can share that out in the community and with your clients. And once you have defined your core values, and I usually suggest that you pick 3 to 7 things that you want your values to say about why your business does what it does, the way it does it. Once you've done that, you can use your core values to help you define your brand further. Now, one little clue that I'll give you about core values is they shouldn't be just about the customer. Because you also, next week, we're going to be talking about attracting great employees, and your core values play a big role in that too. So your core values should speak to prospective employees as well and serve them. And I often will see house cleaning businesses have values that talk about, we have great cleaning and quality is our #1 value. And I know that sounds great, but how does that make people feel? And how does that make employees feel? Does quality say anything to a prospective employee? Not really much. So think about your values and then the culture that you want to have amongst your team and within your business. That also influences your brand. In my business, our culture is very caring. And so that's one of our core values is caring. And so that is part of everything we do. And you can feel it and see it in the images that we choose for our business, and the way that we talk about our team and our clients, the way we get involved in the community. Those kinds of things really make a difference. And then once you have kind of defined your brand, how you want to make people feel through your values and your business culture, then out into the world, you want to speak with your brand voice. So in my business, our values are caring, excellence, and community. I like keeping it simple, 3 words: caring, excellence, and community. So when we're speaking on behalf of our business, we speak with caring, we speak with excellence, keeping our community in mind. And once you know your brand voice, it makes it easier to write marketing copy and letters to your employees and your clients, and all the communication that you have to do within your business, reminding people that they have an appointment coming up. Your brand voice will start to come through in all of that. And so learning what your brand voice is, and then using that brand voice every time you speak to your clients, whether it's in written form, in a video, in marketing, in a reminder, anything that you're doing, you want to speak with that brand voice. So I want to share with you a little bit about branding and why it's important. These are just 4 simple statistics, but they're very, very powerful. 64% of customers said this about brands that they buy from. They said shared values drive 64% of brand relationships. That means 64 out of 100 clients chose that brand because they have shared values. So this is like when you define your core values and you share them out there, people like you want to do business with you. You start to attract similar people. It's just like a relationship, like a dating relationship. You're attracted to someone who has similar values generally, right? Sometimes opposites attract in love relationships, but generally you attract like. And that's what happens in business as well. People are attracted to companies who have similar values. Branding consistency can increase your revenue by 20%. Who wants 20% more revenue? I do, right? By speaking consistently about your brand, that's that brand voice, and always keeping your brand in mind in everything that you do, whether it's marketing or other types of communication or social media or your website, being consistent is so, so important. Here's a good one. Customers will pay 50% more for a business making an impact. Wow. 50% more. Think for a second of some brands that you know of that make an impact. There are quite a few of them out there. The one that just comes to mind is Tom's Shoes. For every pair of shoes they sell, they give a pair to someone in need. Or Ronald McDonald House. McDonald's, donates money and raises funds for these houses that people can live in while their family's in the hospital. Those things make people feel good about doing business with those brands. And those people are willing to spend 50% more. That's awesome. And 46% of consumers will pay more for brands they trust. So this is why your brand is so important. This is something that you can change over time. So if you're not happy with your brand right now, and as I'm talking about it, you're thinking, oh man, I have to change this. It's okay, because your brand is a living, breathing thing. It can change anytime, and just keep making it better and keep making it better. Oops, going the wrong way. Now, one way to really power your brand is to partner with a good cause, to align your business with a good cause. And this is something that I've done in my business, and it's had a huge impact on my life, on the lives of my team. And it really brings clients to us who want to support the cause that we support. So if you aren't already supporting a cause, think of one that aligns with your values, and find a way to partner with them to help them serve the people that they serve. And this is the charity that I work with in my business, Genie Cleaning. We are a partner with Cleaning for a Reason. So if you've never ever looked at Cleaning for a Reason, I encourage you to check them out. This is a great organization. It was started by my mentor, Debbie Sardone. And I just put the link in the chat so you can copy that and take a look at it later. But Cleaning for a Reason is an organization that provides clean homes for cancer patients. So we donate, as a partner with Cleaning for a Reason, we donate free cleanings for cancer patients in our area. And there are over 1,200 house cleaning businesses across North America who do this. So if you aren't already a Cleaning for a Reason partner, check it out. It is really a wonderful organization to be part of. And you don't have to make a big commitment. They only ask that you clean for 2 patients a month. But I'll tell you this, when I started telling our community and our clients that we partnered with Cleaning for a Reason, it changed everything for us. We are known as the cleaning business in our community that cleans for cancer patients. I've been on the news several times talking about Cleaning for a Reason. They've written articles about our business in local magazines and in the newspaper. I've been on the radio, and people have gotten to know us because of what we give, not because of what we do. So think about that opportunity. You're not doing it just to grow your business. You're doing it because you want to give back. And that's how I started as a Cleaning for a Reason partner. But it also really powers your brand. And it also attracts employees. I've had several people apply to work for us because of our partnership with Cleaning for a Reason. So this is a great opportunity if you haven't checked it out. So check out Cleaning for a Reason. If you have any questions on that too, I'm going to have some open question time at the end so I can answer any questions that you might have. So when it comes to brand, remember what the amazing Maya Angelou said. People will never forget how you made them feel. And that's what your brand is all about. So when you're trying to attract the right clients, you want to be very intentional about the feeling that your brand generates, because people Remember how you make them feel. All right. So step number 2 is creating the ideal client profile. Actually, you know what? Before we go on, why don't we pause there for just a second? I'm going to go back. I wanted to ask Cami and Heather, you're with me right now. So as I was talking about branding, was there anything that jumped out at you that, thoughts that came to your mind as you were thinking about that? You can unmute and share. Either of you?
I mean, I definitely have thought about that before, how I make people feel and that I've built a relationship with the clients that I have. But I actually never thought about defining in specific words how I make them feel and why I make them feel that way, and bringing that and into my brand.
Yeah. And one of the ways that it really helps you too is as you grow, by defining that, now every new person you add to your company will understand that, and they'll be able to speak with that same voice and kind of maintain your brand. Did you want to share something, Heather?
Yeah, the thing I was thinking about when you were talking was that I want my clients to be able to trust and rely on me, because I've been cleaning, for a good many years, and I've thought about that over, like a lot of times when I'm at their house. Sometimes I'm at their house, they're at work or something, and I want that to make sure they know they can trust me. I'm not gonna steal anything, whatever the case may be, that they trust and rely on me.
Yeah. So trustworthiness can be part of your brand, and that feeling, that sense of calm that you give people, and that they just don't need to worry. Those are really great feelings that your brand can generate. And that is, we provide a very personal service, so we have to be able to be trusted. So yeah, that's good. Great. Thanks, Heather and Cami, for sharing. All right, so I'll jump into the next topic, the ideal client profile. Now, this is an important step, and I missed this when I started my cleaning business. And so I'll share how that kind of affected my business by not going through this process. But you need to know who isn't your client, and you need to know who your best client is. And one of the big mistakes that I made in the beginning was I didn't really understand who shouldn't be my client. And I took pretty much anyone who would buy my services. And I ended up building a business that had a lot of clients that were not a good fit for my business, whether it was because of where they were located, or maybe their house was just so huge that we had to be there all day. Or maybe they, didn't appreciate us, or maybe they were just too picky. Those kinds of things. I took every client and I tried to keep every client. And once I worked on my ideal client profile, it helped me to realize some people aren't the right fit and they need to leave my business, and that's okay. So I'm sure you are thinking of, as you listen to this, like, oh yeah, I've got a few of those on my client list. And so working on my ideal client profile helped me to see very clearly who should not be in my client list. And they shouldn't be in my client list because maybe it costs me too much to serve them, or they make my employees miserable, or they're just very price conscious and they're always trying to add stuff without paying for it. Things like that. And it just makes doing business more difficult when you have clients who aren't the right fit. So when you know your best clients, you want to get more of those. And that's the secret to growing a business that's smoother and easier to run, even though it's bigger. When you have the right clients, and then next week when we talk about, on Wednesday when we talk about right employees, this is how you get a smoother running business, by having the right people in your business. And you get to choose who your clients are. I know it sometimes feels like they have to choose you, but you can decide whether or not you want to serve them and if they're the right fit. And once you know who they are, you want to get more of them. Not everyone is your customer. And once we figure that out, it's very freeing. It's like, I've been on estimates before where I'm like, I hope this person doesn't buy. I really hope they don't buy from us. Or I've gone on estimates where they're like really far away. And I'm like, why am I going here? This is too far away. We don't have to sell to everyone. And we can grow a business, a very successful business, without going outside of our ideal client profile. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So my business, as I mentioned, I started out in Cleaning Business Fundamentals when I was at about 100 clients. And today it's over 400 clients. But I would say that probably 95% of these people, or even maybe 97%, fall within our ideal client profile. And those that aren't, they're probably on their way off of our client list eventually. And the reason for that is because it just makes running a business so much more pleasurable, more profitable, and it makes it easier to run every day when you have the right people on your client list. So I'm going to share this form with you and another form a little later in the presentation. I'm going to drop a link in the chat where you can download this form and the other one. It's a Dropbox link, so you can copy that link or click on it and just go right to the forms. But this is a form on how to create your ideal client profile. And I'll bring that form up here. There it is. I had it on my screen and then it was gone. Okay, so the ideal client profile is so important. You have to know who they are if you want to know how to attract them, right? And so how do we figure out who our ideal client is? Well, if you've been in business for any period of time, you probably have some clients who you enjoy serving for a variety of reasons. They could be really pleasant. You like cleaning their house. They want to pay you lots of money. They tip your team or they give you a tip. They give you lots of referrals. They're in your market area. You don't have to drive too far to get there. Lots of other things about them that make them an ideal client for you. So the first step in discovering your ideal client profile is choosing your top 10 clients. If you don't have 10, just choose your 1 or 2 favorites, right? Or if you're just starting out, kind of imagine what your favorite client would be. Maybe it would be a friend or a neighbor, someone if you're just, at the very beginning of your cleaning business. So pick up to 10 of your clients that you think are ideal. You wish you could clone them. If it were legal, you would be cloning them right now, right? And these are the clients that we're going to use to help you figure out your ideal client. The next step is going to be to define the ideal client attributes. What is it about them that sets them apart? They may not be the things that make them ideal, but you probably will start to see a pattern when you look at those 10 people. And these are I've listed some attributes here on the form that you can use. Some that are really important though are location, income. Generally, we know in my market that people need to be making at least $100,000 generally to be a client of ours. Not always, but generally. In some areas, like where Cami is in New York, that number is probably higher. When you get on the East or West Coast, those numbers go up usually. You might find kind of a pattern in the careers, like more professionals or 2-income families, things like that. You might notice about your clients that are your favorites. There might be some activities that they like to do. When we did research on our ideal clients, we found that they like to travel. And we also found that they like to go to sporting events. So knowing things like that help you with making marketing decisions. You can target people based on their interests. So in some digital marketing. And so knowing what they like to do helps, or, you might get involved with some community organizations or partner with other businesses once you know activities that they like. What's a problem that you're solving for these customers? Now, for some of them, it might be that they're so busy that they don't have time to clean. For others, it might be that they have 3 dogs and there's so much pet hair that that's the problem you're solving for them. Others might be that they have a bunch of children, or maybe they're older and they can't clean their own home. So understanding the problems that you solve for your clients also help with your marketing decisions. You might want to look at other services they might be using, like lawn care or window cleaning, carpet cleaning. This gives you some clues as to who you can partner with in the future. And then what kind of property do they have? In my business, we primarily clean freestanding homes, but we do some condos and apartments and a few small offices. But you might be doing some commercial work or rentals, things like that. So what type of property does your favorite client have? How often do they buy? Yes, we all love to have those weekly clients because they pay the most into our business, right? They're usually the most profitable. But how often do they buy? And then these are just some more like kind of vague things to figure out, but they do make a difference. What do your clients, what about your business and what in general do your clients love? Do they, what do they love? Do they love the little extras that you do? Do they love, the people on your team? Do they love, certain things in the community? Do they love healthy things? And what do they hate? Do they hate, if you have a green business, maybe the people who buy from you hate chemicals and they don't want anything toxic in their home. They might hate the fact, like we serve cancer patients, they might hate cancer, right? Cancer sucks. And, so these are things that you can learn about. And then personality traits, these are really important too. You want clients who are positive, friendly, generous, right? They're going to like leave a tip for your team member. So what are some of those traits? Once you know all of this, you can fill in those lines. And then you want to kind of clarify your attributes list so that you are kind of whittling down those words. So you don't have quite so many words in your attributes list. And then be able to paint the picture of your ideal client. So take the attributes that you finalize and describe then how you're going to identify those people. How you're going to market to them, and then how your sales process changes now that you know who your ideal client is, how you're going to talk to them differently as you're selling your cleaning to them. This is so helpful once you do this. Once you clearly see who's a good fit and who is not, now you're setting yourself up to attract more of the right clients and to repel those that aren't a good fit for your business. So one example of a way to use this, you know who your ideal client is, and you're on a sales call or an estimate. And right away, you start to notice there are things that are not on your ideal client list, some attributes about this prospective client. So you have a choice. You're still in the estimate, you're giving the estimate, but you can give an estimate knowing that they're going to be a difficult client to serve. So you're going to increase the estimate for that reason. Now you can even say to some clients, if they are just so far off your ideal client profile, you can just say, thank you so much for allowing me to give you an estimate today, but I think, that we're probably not going to be a good fit for you right now. But I do know there are several other cleaning businesses in the area who, would be able to serve you. And it might just be because they're too far away, or maybe they just have like the schedule that they need from you just doesn't fit your schedule. I remember giving a huge quote to a person one time because she had all this blown glass stuff, right? Nicole says, too picky. Yes. I had someone, she had all this blown glass stuff all over her house. She wanted me to pick it up. She wanted my team to pick it up, move it, dust the item and put it back. And I'm thinking to myself, each of those is worth $500 or more, right? I don't want to break one of those. And she insisted that that needed to be done as part of her cleaning. And so I gave her a very large quote and she said, well, that's more than anyone else has quoted. And I said, well, to clean all those very expensive objects, we will have to charge more. And she didn't go with us. So it worked out. But I right away sensed that she was not the right client for our business. You know, she's not a bad person. She's just not the right client for my business. So this is very helpful. And it's a really kind of an interesting exercise to go through. And I think you will find it very eye-opening when you sit and think about who your ideal clients are. Welcome, Nicole. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. And so does anybody have anything that they want to share about this that came to mind as we talked about ideal clients?
I guess I've been really struggling with this. There's been something currently that I'm dealing with because up till now, I've always tried to just, clean for individual people in their homes, single family residences.
Mm-hmm.
And with taking on my new business now, I've been trying to just get more income via cleaning for apartment complexes. And the apartment manager I've been currently dealing with seemed so nice. She seemed like we were just going to get along just fine. We were kind of like thinking alike as far as sort of some of the management, things that go on and how we clean and everything. Well, I cleaned 2 apartments for her, and that was like 3 weeks ago, and I signed a contract with her to receive payment within 10 days of the cleaning, and I still have not received payment. And she had asked me to go back and go over a couple ovens and go over the fan again, whatever. And so I've been really struggling with this because I really want the apartment complexes because they offer a lot more money than what my individual clients can offer in my area. But yet I know from what you just said that those individual clients are my ideal client. And so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to do in this situation.
Yeah, right. And so payment, paying at time of service, that's something an ideal client does, right? Because your cash flow is being severely impacted by this person not paying. And I chose not to serve apartments. When we started out, we did that a little bit, and I found out that my team didn't like doing it. It was hard to collect, and it wasn't as profitable for me. And so we will be talking about pricing, Heather. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit on your pricing, because I think you probably can be charging more to your residential clients. But at the same time, sometimes we just have to accept it. I have actually turned away a $10,000 a year client because they weren't the right fit.
Wow.
They wanted us to clean after 5. That's the time of day is very important to me. I used to be in the restaurant business, so I don't work nights and weekends anymore. And, they were very price sensitive, and they wouldn't let me move my price up, even though I was having to pay my employees more to work at night. So just, I had to let that go, $10,000, but I replaced that income very quickly with clients I loved. And, so these are the hard decisions in business. Sometimes it's hard to walk away from money, but at the same time, hard money is no fun. Right. And I read a book once. It's a cute little book. It's about this big. It's called Happy Money. And it's an old Asian philosophy, but your money is either happy or not happy. because of where it came from. And if our income isn't coming from something that we enjoy doing, that, you know, is a good part of our business, it kind of sucks the joy out of our business for us. And we spend a third of our adult lives working, of our waking hours working during the week. And those should be joyful. And so you know, that's another good reason to know your employee or your client profile. Yeah, but that's a good one. Thank you for sharing that. Right. So yeah, Nikki or Nicole was saying that, you know, picky clients are also a problem. So if somebody is really particular, they're not going to only make you miserable. When you have an employee cleaning that house, it's going to make them miserable too, even probably more miserable, because we can take it more than our team members can. And our team members can quit. We can't quit. So just remember, when you're speaking to everyone, you speak to no one. So know who your ideal client is, and then do all of your marketing targeted, like you're talking to them directly. Think of, you know, Mrs. Davidson. She's your favorite client. She gives you tons of referrals. She always leaves a tip. You know, she, you know, doesn't reschedule all the time, all these things. She's wonderful. Speak to her in your marketing. Think of what she would want to hear, and those are the words that you want to use when you're marketing your business. All right, let's talk a little bit about pricing and sales. I'm not going to talk a lot about this because this is a giant topic, and I could spend hours on it, but it is very important when it comes to, you know, onboarding the right clients. One of the things that I like to let people know is that you are worth every penny that you charge, and probably more. So I encourage you to know your value, know your numbers, and know your value. Profit is the goal of business. So you need to be making a profit. And if you have employees, they need to be paid well. And your pricing needs to be set based on your ability to make a profit and pay your team, not on what you think people will pay. And it works out. We tend to get in our head and we think that we understand how the client feels about price. But I'm going to share a little secret with you. Over 90% of purchasing decisions are based on emotion. This goes back to branding. Remember what you make people feel. 90% of the decision to buy from you has nothing to do with how much you charge. And I know that's hard to believe. I had to get that out of my head too. People care less about the price and they care more about who you are, that they can trust you, like Heather was talking about, right? They care more about that than they care about the dollars. They're going to act like they care about the dollars because they don't really know how to talk about the emotional stuff. But you really need to understand that your value is more than just the dollars. It's how you solve problems for them and how you make them feel. And my goal for you is that you can charge anything you need to make a profit, and that people will buy from you no matter what you charge. And I'll share with you in my marketplace. So this is, 2023. We're charging $60 a cleaning hour in a little town called Kalamazoo, Michigan. And people across the country are charging $50, $60. On the coast, they're charging $70 and $80 an hour, one cleaning hour or more. So I think that we get in our head about pricing. I know we do, believing that the client cares a lot about the price. And we just talked about, people who are price sensitive, they're probably not our ideal client, right? So once you get your brand really dialed in, people will pay whatever it takes because they just want to do business with you. And they actually make 70% of their purchasing decision before they ever talk to you. They are checking you out online. They're looking at your social media. They're talking to their friends. They know a lot about you before they ever get on the phone with you, before they ever pick up the phone or go to your website or reach out to you on social media. So I want you to really let that sink in. It's an emotional decision, not a price decision. But it is important to know what your market rates are, because you don't want to go crazy, right? You don't want to charge $100 an hour in a market where the average is 50. So I do suggest that you get to know what other people are charging. And I've actually befriended almost all of the cleaning business owners in my community. There's a new one every day though, so it's hard to keep up. But I have several good friends, and we share referrals back and forth to each other, because some of us serve different areas of the community, and sometimes I just don't have room on my schedule, or vice versa. But get to know what other professional cleaning business owners are charging. Not, Jane with a mop down the street who's doing it as a side job. I'm talking about professional cleaning businesses like yours. What are they charging in your market? What are the franchises charging if you have those in your market area? You can call around and do a quick market survey, or bribe someone else to do it for you. And one thing that I like to do is just ask people if I can buy a gift certificate for 4 hours of cleaning. And I want to buy a cleaning for my mom, and I just want to buy 4 hours of cleaning. How much would that be? And when they tell you, you can divide it by 4 and their hourly rate. And when it comes to quoting rates, I'm talking about an hourly rate here because you do need to know how much you're making per hour. But I don't suggest you ever discuss that hourly rate with your clients. I believe that pricing, and I have found, is best when it's done as a flat rate. Now, when I'm calculating that, when I'm estimating it, I'm going to be estimating it based on how many hours I think it's going to take to clean that, based on the knowledge that I have on quoting and estimating. But I give the client a flat rate, and I don't say, this is for 3 hours of cleaning. I say, this is for cleaning your 2,400 square foot house. It's more based on square footage in my business. Some people base it on a per room amount, but it's not based on time, because human beings move at different paces, and one employee is going to clean at one speed and one at another. So I do suggest not using hourly rates, but you do need to know how much you're making per hour. I hope that makes sense. So sell your brand, not the price. And in your sales calls, usually the first question is, how much does it cost to clean a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house? I'm sure you've all heard that. You get messages through social media all the time asking you, and people just want to know your price. They just want to know your price right off the bat, but that's actually not really what they want to know. They want to know more about you. And so put off the answer to that question until the end of your conversation. When you're in a sales call, or if you do in-home estimates, try to hold off the pricing conversation. Get to know them as best you can. Create a relationship with them. Share with them everything you can about your business. Get to know them and show them you care, that they can trust you, that you are excited about doing business with them, that you want to support them so that they have more time for the things that matter most. Talk to them about the training you've done, things like that, because you're selling yourself, not the price. Make them like you so much that they want to buy from you. It doesn't matter how much you charge. That way, when you do share the price, they don't really care as much. And they might still push back on the price a little bit, but don't go down in your price. So if I go through an estimate process and we're having a great conversation, and I start to ask them questions that I know the answers will be yes. They've already told me the answers. Like, okay, so you said you wanted your cleanings on Thursdays. Is that right? Yes. In the afternoons, is that best? Yes. Well, I happen to have a spot available starting next week. That's good. and then I'll ask them a few questions about their house that our answers are yes, just like confirmation. And then I'll say, okay, well, this will be the cost for your first cleaning. And this will be the cost, or this will be the cost for your regular cleaning, like your bi-weekly or weekly cleaning. And then here's the cost for your first cleaning, because we charge more for our first cleaning. But I've gotten them to say yes, like 4 or 5 times before I give them that price, and it puts them in a positive mood. And the chances that they'll accept it are much greater. But if they do object to the price, if they say, well, that's more than I wanted to spend. Well, how much were you hoping to spend? And usually it's like $20 less, or, $30 less than what I quoted. And I'll say, well, I can match that price, but what I'll have to do is cut back the cleaning a little bit in your home. So are there some areas in your home that you don't use all the time, that we maybe don't need to clean every cleaning visit? That's how I negotiate price. I don't cut my price. I cut back on the cleaning to match the price they want to pay. So does that help when we talk about pricing? Does anybody have anything to share about how you calculate price? No? Okay. So when we talk about knowing your value, it is important to know how much it costs you to go clean a house. There are just costs to doing business, right? So this is a basic structure of what a profit and loss statement looks like. There are 4 buckets: income, cost of goods sold, overhead expenses, and your profit. And being in control of those numbers, knowing what they are, really helps you price your jobs. So I'm going to really encourage you, if you struggle with pricing, to know how much it's costing you for every hour of cleaning that you do. And there are lots of things that go into those costs. So cost of goods sold, the way that we do that in my business is the only thing we count in cost of goods sold is the cost of our labor, what we pay the people who work with us. And then any taxes or insurance that's directly associated with payroll. So like workers' comp or unemployment tax, those kinds of things. Overhead expenses are everything else. I often talk to business owners who aren't making a profit, but that's because their business and personal expenses have gotten interwoven. So if that's the case in your life, I really encourage you to move your business expenses into another account so that you can get a clear picture on actually how the money is flowing through your business. You can take money out of your business to pay those personal expenses, but keep them separate, because it's really hard to see how much you're making when those are included. But knowing your value starts with knowing how much it costs to clean. And then your profit is anything you pay yourself out of the business plus the net income. So if you are drawing a salary, which some people do because they're an LLC or something like that, plus any net income, that's your profit. Know your profit. There's a great book out there called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. If you haven't read it yet, it's amazing. I think I've read it 3 times now. I love Mike Michalowicz. He's great to listen to. So if you aren't into reading books, you can listen to it on Audible. It's a great book. Pricing is a function of you making a profit. And a business without a path to profit isn't a business. It's a hobby, right? And none of us got into this to have a hobby. Well, some people do, but most of us don't. And so if you really want to price your services in a way that you're getting the right clients in your business, you also have to take care of yourself by planning for profit. And that's knowing your numbers. But when it comes to getting the right clients, you need to make your sales process more about the selling and the emotional connection that you're creating with the client than it is about pricing. But that's why I wanted to talk about pricing today, because most of us don't realize that in the beginning. And I certainly didn't. It took me a while to learn that. Whoops, I'm going to go back. Any questions about pricing while we're here? talking about pricing? Anything that popped into your head? Feel free to unmute. No? Okay. Nicole said, that's the part that gives confusion to me. What part was that, Nicole? Can you unmute? Okay. Oh, how much you're making. All right, great. Thanks for putting that in the chat. Yeah, this is really important. But you can just start out keeping track of it on your own. Eventually, though, I do advise everybody to get some kind of an accounting professional in their life, and to have them help you set up QuickBooks as you grow your business. It's really the easiest way to keep track of all of that kind of stuff. But you can just start out figuring it out on paper and make sure that you're charging enough to cover that. Before I finish with my last point about marketing today, I have a bunch of marketing tips I want to share with you. I wanted to make sure that you know about an upcoming event called CBF Live. It's part of the organization that I coach in. And this is a group of cleaning business owners that get together every spring. And we just get together to learn and celebrate the house cleaning business. And it's a lot of fun. It's coming up April 13th, 14th, and 15th. This is a picture from a couple of years ago. But I know that in the cleaning business, it can be very lonely. A lot of times our friends and family don't understand what we're going through. But when you come to CBF Live, you're going to walk into a room full of people who get you. I always say, when you come to CBF Live, you find your tribe. So it's something that every year, there's probably, well, last year we had about 400 people, and we're expecting about 400 people this year. And people will be speaking on stage. I'll be teaching my coach, Debbie Sardone. She's the founder of Cleaning Business Fundamentals. She'll be there teaching a lot of time. Also we bring in guest speakers. Last year we had Josh Latimer. He's a multi-million-dollar home services business owner that has gone on to build a huge marketing company. There'll be lots of vendors there that you can talk to. And we're going to be talking about marketing, branding, and sales. And I'll be speaking on that. And we'll also be celebrating all the people who reached the $1 million mark in their business this year with our green jacket ceremony, which is really exciting. This is a picture of the year 2021 when I received my green jacket, one of the best days of my life, very exciting. And that's a really great thing. Debbie Sardone and Cleaning Business Fundamentals have helped more people become mop-free millionaires in their business than any other coaching program out there. So it's a great way to learn more and grow faster in your business. And so I wanted to invite you, and I have a special offer if you want to join me. I know Cammie's already signed up for CBF Live. Her and her husband are coming, so that's exciting. It's going to be in Fort Worth, Texas, April 13th through the 15th, 3 full days of training. You can look it up. Look up the details at cbflive.com. I'll drop that link in the chat. And it's just going to be a huge learning opportunity, but also lots of fun. And I have a special offer for just people who are listening to this webinar. You can get your ticket at half off with my discount code, Jeannie Half. So it's just my name and the word half. I'm going to type it into the chat. That's the discount code. If you decide to sign up, save half off your ticket. And if you do sign up by next Monday, March 20th, I will give you a free coaching session with me to talk about your business and give you some tips specifically to help you grow your business. So you'll get half off and a free coaching session with me. So if you have any questions, we'll go over some things at the end, and you can ask questions about that. But I want to make sure, in case you had to leave, that you heard about this special offer. That offer does not exist anywhere else. You will not get half off, but with my code, you will. So I hope you'll consider it. It's going to be an amazing learning event. All right, so let's finish up with marketing that works. Once you know who your ideal client is, you can speak directly to them through your marketing. Earlier, I was talking with Cami. She was talking about her Facebook marketing. That's a great opportunity. You can target your Facebook marketing to specific areas and specific people. And you can create ads that speak to them. As a matter of fact, in our social media, we know exactly who our ideal client is. They're people who like to travel. They have pets. They either are a 2-income family or they're busy professionals. And so we do all of our social media around those 4 things because we know that about our clients. And they're just so busy, they don't have time to clean. So we're always talking about how we're making their lives better, giving them more free time for what matters most. When you know who they are, you can speak directly to them. And you can envision, like I said, Mrs. Davison is the one who's looking at that, and it makes her want to buy no matter what you charge. And that's great marketing. Great marketing makes people want to buy from you no matter what you charge. Great branding makes people want to buy from you no matter what you charge. So I'm going to share with you some low-cost strategies for marketing that have really helped me grow my business. And even though my business has grown significantly and we do a lot of paid marketing, I'm still doing a lot of the stuff that hardly costs anything and is bringing in tons of business. So you might want to screenshot this. This is a list of some things. This would be a great to-do list for you of things you can do for your business. So the first thing is, if you haven't done it already, you want to claim and optimize your Google listing. Now that listing has moved to Google Maps, but you want to make sure that Google knows you're a business. You don't have to, if you're running it out of your home, you don't have to have your address there, but that's how people find you. That's like what used to be the phone book when I was younger. Many of you probably don't even remember what phone books are, but like, that's how people find you. So you have to have your Google profile. And then there's a series of questions that Google asks you, and you want to make sure and answer all of them. Google loves your pictures. So you want to post pictures of you, your team, things you've done. And Google loves video. And you can do all of this in your Google profile. You can post specials in your Google profile. And you can also, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, you can put posts in there, almost like social media, like on Facebook or Instagram. You can put posts on your Google profile, and Google loves that. The more active you are in your Google listing, the higher you will be in search. I'm going to jump ahead, but I have on here asking for reviews. Google loves reviews on their website. They're competing with review websites like Facebook and Yelp. So they love it when you get reviews on Google. Whenever a client tells you, oh my gosh, I love you, you are so great, I don't know what I would do without you, say, you know, could you do me a favor? Would you be willing to go to Google and give us a 5-star review? It would mean the world to me, and it really helps our team grow. And there's even a link that you can get inside your Google profile to send to them if you haven't done that already. So, you know, always ask for reviews. That's marketing that's worth thousands of dollars, but you can't buy it. My business is coming up on getting our 300th review. I can't wait. We're at 277 right now. And the only way that we got there was by asking. My coach, Debbie, uses the proverb or the Bible verse, you have not because you ask not, right? So if you want more Google reviews, ask for them and Google will love you for it. Also, be sure and claim your listings on other search engines and other review sites like Yelp, Bing, and even Amazon Alexa has, you know, listings for businesses. So you want to make sure you're out there claiming them. Another great marketing tool, and so many people miss this, so you can really set yourself apart if you take on this task of doing this, is build your email list. So every single prospect that you talk to, make sure that you are getting their email address. And a lot of people are like, oh, nobody does email advertising, or nobody looks at that anymore. There's a reason that all those retailers are sending you emails, because it does work. It actually does work. And we send out emails every month to everyone who's ever asked for a quote. So every prospect, to past clients, ones that we would want back who fit in our ideal client list, right? We do have like a do not sell list of people who were not ideal. And then our current clients, we have special emails that we send to them. We get so much new business from our prospect and past client list. You would not believe it. People who got quotes from us 3 years ago and went and bought from somebody else are now asking for a quote from us. And there are great tools out there like MailChimp. You can use it for free up until your list gets to about 2,000. Constant Contact is another one. Don't mail to them directly from your email address, because you might get marked as spam. But your email list is a gold mine. So make sure you have that compiled and you're using it. Even if it's just every few months when you get started, you can build up to doing it more frequently. But this is a great way to communicate with current and past clients. And it's a great way to add business. When we have an open spot on our schedule, we send out what's called a flash sale to our past clients and our prospects. And we often will sell 3 to 5 cleanings with a flash sale out to that email list. So this is a great tool. Take advantage of it. Getting involved with local events, finding out what's happening in your community. I'm actually preparing right now to have a table at a local like trade show event. It's called Women's Expo. And we're going to just spend the day there talking to people about what we do. And I'm probably going to mostly be talking about cleaning for a reason, because people are very curious about that. But it gives me an opportunity to talk with them and build a relationship. We're going to have a contest and a game and give away stuff. But this is a great way for people to get to know you. It builds your brand, and it gets you talking about your business. People want to meet you before they do business with you. And then build your brand on social media. You can, do all kinds of stuff on social media, and you don't have to be on every form of social media. Pick one that you like and just do it well. If you love Instagram, do Instagram. If you love Facebook, be on Facebook. Even LinkedIn is a good one, because there are a lot of professionals there, and professionals need cleaning. So pick your social media and just get good at it. There is a tool out there called Canva, CANVA.com, where you can design really cool Facebook posts and Instagram posts and flyers and all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't checked out Canva, check that one out. Now, here's one that a lot of people miss the ball on: having a referral program. Now, when I ask people, do you have a referral program? They'll say yes. And then I'll say, does anybody know about it? And a lot of people will kind of pause. They'll be like, well, I told them when they first signed up. Or, if I do get a referral, I send a reward, but they don't know that they're getting it. So they're not really incentivized to give you more referrals until after they've given you one. To have a really successful referral program, it's something you need to talk about all the time. And as a matter of fact, it's in almost every one of the newsletters that we send out to our clients. Send us a referral. And we send them a gift card, like just a paid Visa gift card for every single referral. When you think about how much time and effort and money it can cost you to get a new client, giving people a substantial referral reward makes sense. We also give our employees a referral reward if they refer a client or another employee. It costs us about $200 to $300 to get a new client with marketing dollars. So we give a very generous referral reward of $100 if somebody signs up for recurring service. And then we don't pay that out until the 3rd visit. Now, another way to expand your thought process around that is, how about offering referrals or asking everyone to refer you, even people who aren't your client, friends and family, local business networks that are on Facebook. You can go in there and ask for referrals. And you can pay out rewards to people if you're not just giving away free cleaning as the reward, but you're giving away a gift card. We used to partner with a local pizza place, and we cleaned the owner's house, and then he would pay us in gift cards, and we would use those for our referral rewards. So you may have a referral program, but if you don't, start one, and then make sure everybody knows about it, not just your clients, but your friends and your family and other business associates, because everybody wants to give you a referral, not just the people who are getting their house cleaned by you. I get tons of referrals from people who are not my customers, and it's a great way to do business. 5 arounds is something you might not have heard of, but it's actually what other people would call door hanging. And we call it 5 arounds because imagine you're cleaning a house. Before or after you clean that house, you just walk around to the 2 houses next door and the 3 houses across the street, and you leave a flyer at their door. This is a great way to build more clients in a neighborhood that you want to serve. So you can just do it in the neighborhood where you want to get more clients. And I would suggest that you do it more than once, like do it 3 times in the same neighborhood, but like a month apart, because people need to see your message more than once if they're going to buy from you. Actually, people need to hear of your brand 7 to 10 times before they're going to make a purchase. Now, those 7 to 10 times could include social media, word of mouth, Google search, but dropping off a flyer a few times is a great way to do that. And finally, I'm going to share with you a form. I think I have it here in the presentation. No, I didn't do it. I'm going to share with you a form. It's in that Dropbox link on how to create your own referral network. This has been really powerful in my business, and I'm going to end with this tonight. But you have a wealth of people around you who would be happy to give you referrals. And when I started my cleaning business, I started building relationships with other home service businesses, and they asked for referrals from me, and I asked for referrals from them. One of my best referral partners in all time has been a commercial cleaning company. I don't do commercial cleaning, and he did. He didn't want to do house cleaning, and he would get lots of calls for house cleaning, but he didn't know who to send it to. So he would send those to me, and I would send the commercial cleaning request to him. And today I still have thousands of dollars worth of business on my books that came from that one referral relationship. As a matter of fact, he referred one client who referred 2 other clients, and she also bought cleaning for her 2 children. And now we clean 5 properties because of that one initial referral. It's thousands of dollars. And so you can create a referral network with anyone who serves homeowners. It could be like people that we have in our referral network. We have carpet cleaners, window cleaners, handyman, dog groomers, people who do remediation and like water damage, smoke damage, those people. And then just general contractors like plumbers and HVAC people, realtors, obviously, lawn mowing companies, in my area, snow plowing companies, so you can have all kinds of people in your referral network. So in that Dropbox link, there is a form that you can download to help you build your own referral network. And really, it's all about just giving back to each other. You don't necessarily have to pay each other for the referrals. It's just an agreement that I'll refer you and you'll refer me. But it's been very powerful, and it really helped me grow my business. And I'm still doing it today, even though my business is much larger. I still do all the things that are listed here. So I hope you found that helpful. Is there anything on that marketing list that jumped out at you or that you guys have questions about? I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. If you guys want to unmute, and you can turn on your camera if you want to, but you don't have to. But would love to answer any questions, or if you have any feedback, like, oh, that idea is something I'm going to try.
I've been definitely gearing and focusing more on marketing part of it in the last couple of months lately. And it's funny that you talked about door hangers because I was literally getting ready to print them because I was gonna pay, teenagers to just go and hang up door hangers.
Mhm.
But I like the hanging it around the client's areas that you like. Um, I don't know why I never thought of that. That seems so obvious, but I appreciate that.
Well, there's lots of things that seem obvious, but we just can't think of everything.
Yeah, right.
And if you do you have team members, Cami?
No, I don't.
Okay, but when you do, what you can do is have them write their names on or initials on the door hangers. And then like if you get a phone call, pay them $10 for every phone call you get. And
Okay,
then if somebody signs up for recurring service after the third visit, pay them $100.
that's a good idea. Thank
So
you.
that incentivizes them to really want to help you grow your business. And it's fun. It's a little bit different than regular cleaning. And just remember, it's better to hit the same neighborhood, like the same small neighborhood 3 times than it is to hit one big neighborhood once.
Thank you.
Yeah, because people need to see your message and your brand more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, how about you, Nicole or Heather? Any questions before we go tonight?
I had a couple questions,
Okay.
not necessarily about the last thing we talked about.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Um,
Any questions is fine.
But I'm currently on my phone. I'm not on my computer, so I can't get the links that you put in chat, and I didn't get them from the last meeting. So I was wondering, how do we get those links to those forms?
Well, check your email because I know our team sent out an email like yesterday and today that had links to the last one and the forms. So it had links to the can't talk, replay and to the forms. And if you want to drop your email into the chat, can you chat on your phone?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, if you want to just do that right after we get off the call, I'll send you those links.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure, of course. My pleasure. And sorry about the delay. It took us a while to get the whole thing situated to get that replay out, but I'm going to send out this replay as well to everyone on the email list. There's like, I don't know, 15, 20 people that signed up. So I want to make sure everybody gets to see it. And did you have another question?
Yeah, my next question is a lot of back and forth, especially on the Facebook group too, about contracts, whether or not to do them. And like, well, I guess with my earlier example with apartment manager, how do you uphold those contracts, because sometimes it costs more money to actually like go to court if that's your,
Right.
than the amount of money that's owed.
Yes, right. Good question. We really don't recommend contracts. And one of the reasons is that they don't stand up.
Okay.
We really feel that it's our responsibility to serve people well, and we're not going to hold them to doing business with us if they aren't happy. So we don't do a contract. We have what's called a client agreement. And our client agreement and guidelines kind of outlines how their service will be done, what we do, what we don't do, what happens if they need to reschedule, what happens if there's a lockout, don't poach my employees, things like that. So we do have a guidelines document, but it is not a contract. And then, when you do get stuck in a situation like the one that you're in now, yeah, it is costly to go to court. There is small claims court that you can do without an attorney. And we've only gone to court once, but ever since then, my policy is payment at time of service. I only have a few small offices who send me checks. And one way you can do that is that they prepay you. like, if you want to keep your cash flow going, a lot of people require prepayment. So like you're paying for March and February. I don't do that for my small offices, but they're very reputable and I know where to find them, so it's like, I'll chase them down if they aren't paying. But, yeah, I'm sorry you're going through that. It is not fun. And yeah, a lot, and going after them is a pain. So try not to ever let your receivables get too large, because then you can get backwards if somebody doesn't pay you.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, the thing is too, in this case, we're dealing with, a higher up, the actual, she has to send it on all the approval for everything she does, she has to sit onto corporate, and corporate's the one that is supposed to pay me, supposedly. And so I'm not just dealing with her.
Well, and what you can do is what I do if I'm talking to someone who's not making me happy is I would like to speak with your manager.
Okay.
You're a member of the community, just like everyone else. They have no right to push you around or make you wait. Say, why don't we just get rid of the middleman here? Why don't I just talk to your manager directly?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, it's, it's just the squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's what my grandma used to say. And now I'm saying it, so I'm becoming a grandma. Any other questions? Well, what was one thing that you found the most helpful tonight? That would be helpful for me to hear. What's one thing that you're going to do after listening to tonight's presentation? How about you, Heather?
Well, it's that ideal client. I found out who my ideal client is, and unfortunately, it involves some difficult decisions, and I guess really a lot more work coming up, just because I feel like I'm going to need more of those ideal clients to make up for, in my case, apartment complexes. But
Right.
in the long run, it's going to be a lot easier and better for me, to not have to deal with what I'm currently dealing with. So that was really something I kind of had it in the back of my mind, but I really didn't do anything with it, or take full advantage of that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I found it very freeing when I realized that I don't have to do business with people who aren't good to do business with for me. And, and it did. I had to make some really big decisions. I dropped 2 big commercial accounts, and I've let go several big residential accounts. Like I had this like 8,000 square foot house that none of my team members wanted to clean. It was too far away and it was gigantic, and they were picky on top of that. And I have found that big houses are not my ideal client. I forgot to put that in the list, but like the property details, the square footage of the house is one of those ideal client attributes. Because we don't like to clean houses larger than 3,500 square feet. I mean, we have a few that are bigger than that, but we try to avoid that because I typically send 1 cleaner per house, and a house bigger than that will take them all day. So we try to get at least 2 houses in a day per cleaner, and that just doesn't work. So we don't market to those people. And when you do like Google advertising, digital advertising, and other types of targeted ads, you can actually target neighborhoods, zip codes. You can get really, in tight on what you want. That way you're getting more of those kinds of people asking for quotes. And the referral marketing really helps with that too. But the good thing is you don't have to do all of that overnight. You can do it over a period of time. I did not let go all those clients at once, one at a time. And I always leave them on good terms. I'm always like, it's me, it's not you. It's me. And, I just wish you the best and I hope you find somebody who's a great fit for you. But, just for right now, I don't think we're the right fit for your business. And I always try to leave it on good terms. How about you, Cammie?
I had a question that I forgot to ask before.
Oh, okay.
It's in regards to, uh, I guess the ideal client
Mm-hmm.
and branding.
Okay.
So I don't want to come off negative. So I obviously want to come off positive in my branding,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I don't want, the picky client. So
Mhm.
for example, I just had somebody, they, I went in for an estimate and it was, it was I went in and, I had to go through these window creases with a toothpick because my other cleaners didn't get it. And the other cleaners use this product, and 2 days later I couldn't smell it. Stuff like that, right?
Oh,
Which
ooh.
obviously, you obviously know that that is not your ideal client once you hear those things.
Run.
So, I have developed over the years a policy
Mhm.
that I give out with my estimates. And, in the policy, it talks about missed appointments and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And,
Yeah.
how things build up, after a certain amount of time. If you're bi-weekly and you're skipping that week, now we haven't been there for a month.
Right.
And so I charge an extra amount per week missed.
Mhm.
And it was, I luckily, we parted ways because she read that part and didn't like it, and I wasn't going to budge on that.
Oh,
But, how do I not come off as less than positive when I'm writing my policies? Like, listen, we're not cleaning up your dog poop. We're not, you're not missing appointments with paying the same amount of money, stuff like that.
yeah, and it's a challenge of like flipping the script and making them see how it's important as their like partnership with you and the client, business relationship. Um, so I have people on my team. So I use my team as the excuse for all those things. Right. So when they skip a cleaning visit, it affects our schedule and it affects our employees' ability to make a living. Now when it's just you can't really use that excuse. And explaining the why is so important. People need to know why. You can say, we do not pick up any type of animal waste or, hazardous bodily fluids. Well, why? So for safety reasons, for health and safety reasons, we are not able to pick up animal waste or hazardous body fluids. If we do encounter them, we'll just clean around them. And it sounds a little softer when you say it's for health and safety reasons. So I think if you add a why to those explanations, and just think about it, and you might want to ask somebody like, someone who's close to you to look at it and say, I'm trying to say this in a positive way. How do you think I can say that? Because it's reasonable what you're asking. But, how do you say it? And we're nervous when we're talking to the client because we know they're not going to like it. So then it comes across, it can come across as being negative, but you're really just trying to run a business.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
know that's usually my issue is, it's, I don't want to look at you where this should be common sense,
mhm,
because that's rude and doesn't come off nice.
right.
But, you know, this
But you have
conversation
to
is
put it in
common.
writing because it does need to be documented and discussed.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And we have those same rules in our business. We have rules around everything when it comes to skips and reschedules and lockouts, um, those kinds of things and what we charge. And we've had to get really strict on that because I mean, we had people that were just skipping all the time.
Yeah.
know, I just don't feel like having you come today. And like our cleaners are standing outside.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how am I going to pay them?
Exactly.
So, yeah, no, it's good that you have that. So congratulations. A lot of people don't go that far. And then just try to soften language, add more explanation of why. You know, like when you say, you know, if you skip a cleaning, it's this extra charge because it will take us longer when your house hasn't been cleaned for a month.
Yeah.
And I've had people say, well, I'm going to be gone the whole month, so it won't be dirty. And I was like, your house still gets dusty. Every inch of your house will get dusty while you're not there.
Yeah.
And so being able to explain it, you know, so you can just say, you know, dust, there will be twice as much dust when we come back. And people don't realize how long dusting takes. And when there's more dust, dusting takes that much longer.
Yeah.
And
I need you to come with me on my estimates.
yeah, there you go. So that'd be your genie in your pocket. Yeah, but you know, it just takes time. You know, I didn't come up with this language overnight either. I've been doing this for a long time. So, you know, just sit back and kind of think about how to make it positive. This is a great future webinar topic for me, is creating your client guidelines. That's a really good idea to talk about.
Yeah, I appreciate this. There was a lot of really good information tonight.
Well, good, good. Well, I'm excited for Wednesday when we talk about attracting the right employees. So even if you don't have employees, it's good to start thinking about it, because my hope for you is that you grow to need lots of them. So, all right. Well, thank you for being with me tonight. And for those of you who are watching on the replay, thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I am your coach and very honored to be. My name is Jeannie Henderson with Cleaning Business Fundamentals. And I'll be here always to help you with your questions. And look for an email from me if you were registered for this webinar that will include the forms download and the replay link. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you on Wednesday.